As far as participation in class, there's a few things you need to understand. You've got to participate if you're going to get it. You've got to be an active learner. Get in the game when you're in the classroom. So what does that mean? Well, first of all, it means show up. I mean, seriously, don't miss class. Don't be sick. Even if you haven't done the reading or the homework, do not miss class. It's rule number one. Secondly, sit where you won't be distracted. Usually that means in the front of the classroom. Sit where the teacher can see you and you can see the teacher. Sit away from anybody else who's going to be chatting or otherwise distracted themselves. Finally, participate. Participation is essential if you and the rest of the class are going to get it. In other words, you got to step up and be a leader in the class and not a follower. Here's the deal. The key issue is this. Make sure you understand the concept before you leave the classroom. As you learn, your brain is physically building pathways between your brain cells, which are called neurons. And when you learn new things, when you're attaching new leaves to a branch, so to speak, your brain is building a pathway to get there, to get to that neuron. These are actually called neural pathways, and they're like a road to a destination. When your brain needs to access that information later, it simply travels the same road. The more that road gets used, though, the more established it becomes. And just like real roads, heavily traveled roads eventually get upgraded to highway status. So what does this actually look like when you're learning in class? So imagine your math teacher has just taught you how to calculate the slope of a line by looking at a graph. She says, oh, it's simple. The slope is just rise over run, so pick 2 points on the line, find the difference in their y values, then divide that by the difference in their x values. She does a little example, there's your slope. No problem, you think. Rise over run. Looked easy enough when she did it. We only got 10 minutes left in class. I think I'll just pack up my stuff and visit with my friends and kind of hang out. No point in getting started on my homework. So later that evening, you get home, you start solving some problems. And it is pretty easy. Your brain starts to pave that road, and it becomes a well-built highway. Nice work. But what if you've solved the problems wrong? What if you're using run over rise? Or what if you're calculating rise over run from the origin of the graph without taking into account the y-intercept? Or what happens when the slope of the line is actually negative and you haven't accounted for that? Here's what happens. You've paved a major highway called interstate slope in the wrong place. And highways, I gotta tell you, are a little hard to reroute once they're established. It takes a major deconstruction project to tear up the old road, and then a major construction project to build a new one. So here's the deal. Don't leave class until you understand the concept.